Hello viewers and welcome to Varsity Vibe. I'm Angela Taruyashe Mringanize and today with me is Wayne, Mrs. Pandla and Mr. Mnyaiwashe Shumba. So today we're going to talk about a type of a relationship called a situationship. So without wasting much of our time, I'll leave this time to our guests to give their own definition of situationship.
Thank you, moderator. Personally, I wouldn't qualify situationship as a relationship. Otherwise, to me, the word itself is just something that has been used to sugarcoat immorality or infidelity. So, to me, to say situationship is a relationship, I do not qualify it as a relationship, but as immorality or infidelity. Yeah, so I refuse to define it as a relationship, but as a word used to try and be nice to describe infidelity or immorality. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mnyaiwashe Shumba. I shall leave this time to Mrs. Pandla.
Okay, thank you. Just as what Mr. Shumba has expressed, a relationship is different from a situational. Why? If one or two people are in a relationship, there's some sort of kind of a relationship which has got some ground rules which should be respected and which they should comply to. But a situation like relationship is something which just arises due to a situation, not because the two are really in intimate relationship.
For me, a situationship is kind of like a relationship. It's more like friends with benefits.
Okay.
When two people have got feelings for each other, but they can't really figure it out as a relationship, but they will be in something like a friendship. So
Rounding it off, everyone is identifying situationships as a relationship with no morals, with no commitment. So the second question goes to Mrs. Panda. So what do you think characterizes situationships?
Situationships basically I feel is characterized by some situations which forces someone to be in some sort of a relationship kind of, but not really an intimate relationship. It can be the boyfriend and girlfriend come from the same raw background. They've met here in Kamasi, they develop interests because of the situation that they come from the same background, or they go to the same denomination. However, they come to be attracted to each other. They have sexual intimacy, but not that it's something which would be rightful for them to do.
Okay. And Wayne, what do you say about that?
okay, I think the characteristics of a situationship is when a boy and a girl can't tell each other that they have feelings for each other. And when you start to feel comfortable when you're in someone's room, maybe having sleepovers for more than 3 times, feeling comfortable when you are around a person with wearing no makeup or when you're in pajamas. I think there are some of the characteristics.
Okay. And Mr. Mnyaiwashe?
Thank you. Personally, I think that the moment an affair lacks morals, defined ground rules, commitment, it then qualifies to be categorized as a situationship. Yes. Taking from what Mrs. Butler once said, if an affair does not have clearly defined ground rules, you haven't agreed properly to be with each other. There is no commitment, and actually, according to me, there is some form of immorality. So lack of morals, clear defined ground rules, and commitment also characterize a situation.
The situationship issue is a very, very, very crucial issue in life. So I think we can discuss the differences between a situationship and friends with benefits, hookups, and maybe one night stands. So maybe when, what do you say?
Okay. The difference which is between situationships and friends with benefit is that when you are in a friends with benefit relationship, you are kind of in like a friendship zone where after you have maybe sexual intercourse or something, you can still meet and talk about something else. But when you are in a situationship, you can maybe hook up maybe for one night and continue to do something like that. But after sexual intercourse, maybe if you meet somewhere, you won't talk to each other or something. I think that's the difference.
Okay, so in other words, you're saying there will be no something like strings
No strings
attached,
attached,
or
yeah.
maybe any sort of social life.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. And Mr. Shumba, what
Oh.
did you say?
Thank you. I don't mean to be too radical about the subject, but to me, I see no difference.
Okay.
Because friends with benefits, hookup, one night stand, all those are situations that can also fit under situationships.
Okay.
Because the word hookup or one night stand just describes a situation where two people meet outside morals again and do stuff. Hookup, people meet outside morals and do stuff. So to me, all those situations also qualify to be called situationships. So I see no difference. Just instances that are different, but it's one and the same thing according to my own view.
So according to your own judgment, you're saying there's no difference between a situationship and hookups, one night stand, or sort of.
It's just a matter of semantics, the
Okay.
English words, trying to name, but the act is just one and the
Just
same
the
thing.
same.
Yeah, the concept is just one and the same thing, just the naming, but there's no difference.
Okay. And Mrs. Panda.
Yeah, I tend to also support what Mr. Shaw is saying, but however, I can see there's a thin line between hookups or one night stand or relationship situation. In a relationship situation, you tend to know each other, like, this is John, this is Rosie, and with a hookup or a one night stand, you can actually have a sexual intimate relationship without even knowing
The person's name.
the either person's name. And as it clearly defines one night stand, it can be a once-off thing done, and when you meet next, you won't even talk about it. Yet with a relationship situation, when you meet next, you can always talk about it, and there's a continuity relationship, sort of.
So So in other words, if it's a hookup, maybe you might not even know the person's name, where he or she comes from, but in a situationship, maybe you can know the name, you even know where
What's
some
the background
person stays,
of each other?
sort of
Some-
a background.
What's your take on situationships?
Situationships. Well, I could say that as much as the world is moving fast, things are evolving really fast, you know. So at the end of the day, someone might not have enough time to be able to settle down and commit because it's all about the money, right?
So you're saying you'd rather have a situationship than a relationship?
At this stage of my life,
Yes.
I think I'll settle for a situationship because the time to commit and then the time to chase my dreams, you know, it is only one me, so I cannot divide myself into many other things. So I just have to focus on what's important right now.
Welcome back, and if you just joined us, we've been talking about a sort of a relationship called a situationship earlier on with my colleagues here. So continuing with our hot topic, how does one tell he or she is involved in a situationship? So I think I will start with Mr. Schumann.
Oh, thank you. Let me say, according to the definition that I gave, if you find yourself in a situation guided by what I used to define situationship, that means you are in a situationship. And I know there is no formula of how a relationship can start, but there are certain things that need to happen first before people can start to do stuff like kissing, romance, or having sexual intercourse. And if you find yourself, doing such stuff without any form of proper mutual agreement in a proper setup, then that means you are now in a situationship. Something is wrong according to me. Yeah, that's what I think.
But the fact still remains that one might be involved in a situationship without knowing.
Personally, I would say you would know. Yes, because you cannot just start to do things without agreeing properly. And I mean, a relationship is known how you can know that now I'm getting into a relationship. You accept to court someone, to date someone. You do not just get to do certain things. So if you find yourself doing stuff before the agreement first, then that means you are already in something qualifying to be a situation.
But so in some instances, some people, especially ladies, they fall into situationships not necessarily because they don't know, but it will be like someone will be defining a situationship as a relationship, because one might be dating a guy, but at the same time the guy will be identifying the relationship as a situationship and not a relationship, which means within the couple, one is in a relationship and one is in a situationship, but without knowing.
That's a possible situation.
Okay.
But like I said, there are things to be done. First, I don't want to blame the woman, but you should not just date. You need to get to know much about the person, asking you out. I know some people are good at hiding, some men are good at hiding, but if thorough research is done about the person, you can get to know that this person is engaged elsewhere. The problem nowadays is that relationship can just start in a moment. People are quick to do things. So still I blame this generation of ours to say we just rush into relationships without making proper checks. So that would be my response.
Mrs. Panda, it's up to you now.
Okay, as you rightfully asked, how can one identify he or she is in a relationship or a situationship. Usually, the girl normally defines time to befriend or to release his stress when he's having this lady by his side or having sexual intercourse with this lady, but not that he will be really in a relationship. How the girl might now release his stress when he's having this lady by his side or having sexual intercourse with this lady, but not that he will be really in a relationship. How the girl might now discover or identify that she is in a relationship, not in a situationship and not an actual relationship. It's a situation whereby the boy introduces this girl to his real girlfriend, and the one would wonder what is happening. That's when maybe the boy will be courage enough to say, no, look here, I was not in love with you. We're just passing time. This is my real girlfriend. Or the girl might actually hear grapevine spreading that John is having a serious relationship with Mary. Yet Stella thought she was the one who is really in real relationship with John. Then that's when
You start identifying.
identifying the reality of the situation.
So in other ways, there is misconception where usually ladies rush into conclusion, maybe that the guy is in love, yet it's not real love, it's just a matter of a situation.
Precisely.
Okay. And when you want to say?
For one to identify that he or she is in a situationship, I think in some circumstances, before you start to have sexual intercourse and stuff, I think some tell each other that we are just helping each other in.
Okay.
Maybe you are in a situation like you are at a university, right?
Okay.
Then you have your boyfriend or girlfriend at home. When you are at school, you don't have someone who you will be having sex with.
Okay.
So you can tell your friend that you are in a relationship called a situationship, whereby you will be just helping each other for that short time you will be in school. I think that's when you identify that you're in a situationship.
So you are saying there are situationships whereby people are in agreement, and there are some situationship, like Mrs. Panda was saying, where someone is involved in a situationship not knowing, and there are some people who are involved in a situationship by agreement.
Okay, I think mostly you will be involved in a situationship knowingly.
Okay.
Like you will be knowing what you will be doing. Like there will be no strings attached, but you're just helping each other in terms of sexual intercourse and stuff.
But don't you think it all depends with the foundation of the relationship? Because sometimes maybe the guy can use an approach like, I like you, I like the way you dress, I like your hairstyle. Maybe then a girl judges that is love, yet it's not love.
No, it's not like that. I think when a boy tells you something like that, they are just compliments.
Okay.
But then you start to develop feelings for each other.
Okay.
For a girl, I think nowadays, most of us, we don't wait for a guy to tell us that he loves us. I think what we think can be the base of our relationship, it's sex, because that's what is, I think that's what is...
That's the reason mostly why people get involved in situationships, because
yeah,
basically most of the times it will be about sex.
Yes.
Ma-situationships munomaona sei?
Ndinoona sekuti zvinoenderana nemunhu kuti panguva yacho handiti munenge muchinakidzana muri two, saka zviri right, anoda kunakidzana nazvo afanira kunakidzwa nazvo, asi kune umwe wanoti hazviite handika, nekuti ini nhangu ndinoti hazviite just because ndinoda relationship, but kune vamwe vanoti zvona zvinonyatsoita just because zvinenge zvezvenguva iyoyo then totoparadzana zvatoita.
What's your take on situationships?
Terrible, unheard of, out of this world. No. It's a TV thing.
Okay.
No, not realistic.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, is there a times that automatically puts you in one? I think I'll start with Miss Panda.
Yeah, I think I can cite on 3 examples of such situations. One, it can be distance.
Alright.
It's a married couple. One is in South Africa, Germany, or New Zealand. The wife is in Zimbabwe. And another man takes advantage of that. And if the woman is also of a loose moral background, can really be pushed into such a situation. Secondly, stress. Maybe a woman or a girl has been rejected by a boyfriend whom she was looking forward to get married to, and all of a sudden the relationship is broken, and during the event of sharing with other friends of a different sex, the others friend, being a boy, would take advantage of that situation, and they might end up being in such a relationship of situational type of. And thirdly, I don't know how I can express this word of sort of ruchiva, sort of someone who just want to be in a relationship with someone for his material things, not being in love in a real love situation, but just to, you are attracted by the material things someone has around that person.
Okay. So in other words, you're saying there are many forces.
Yeah, there are many forces.
Okay.
I have only cited the 3.
All right. Mr. Shumba.
Oh, thank you. I will not depart from what Ms. Butler is saying, but I can as well just add to say mainly it is because of lust that people end up in situationships.
Okay.
That's my thinking. And like what she said, it also comes with loose morals. And just to put a disclaimer, it happening does not mean it's proper. It remains improper. But there are times that can force you to get into a situation.
Okay. And
Well, okay, let's take it this way. Like, maybe a girl is in a relationship where she is not satisfied with his current boyfriend. But then she will find satisfaction from another boy. That girl will end up in a situationship with one where she's getting satisfaction. That's what I think.
so I think there are many reasons which forces some people to fall under situationship, which includes long distance, stress, heartbreak, just to mention a few.
Okay, for me, situationships, I think it's the best thing ever because it's a no strings attached situation. So what happens there is like you guys, you don't get to get mad at each other, especially as a student. If we in the situationship, right? If he cheats and sleep with someone else or does everything that's like you cheating, I don't get like to feel bad about it like when I'm in a relationship.
Welcome back, and this is Varsity Vibe. So we're still on the same issue on situationships. So can we say that these situations are the reason why women these days think that men these days, they don't marry? And I think I'll start with you.
Okay. Not necessarily. Because sometimes if you are in a situationship relationship with someone, you may develop feelings for him or for her. Then at the end of the day, you get yourself involved in a marriage with him. So it's a totally different thing.
Okay. Or isn't it that mostly ladies rush into conclusion and they are the ones who easily later fall in love, while they already have the agreement that, you know what, this is just a situationship, not a relationship. But you know, with the relationship going day to day, someone develops love, isn't it?
I think men are the ones who have to develop feelings in this situation, whereby if he's the one who started to develop feelings, you start that habit of controlling you, being jealous, like, where you don't want to see you with another guy, you don't want to see you having other relationships with other people, because you'll be wanting something serious with you.
But focusing on the question, isn't it that women rush into conclusion and they later pass this message that men these days don't marry, blah blah, yet she forgets that they were in an agreement that it's not a relationship but a situationship, but because she develops love and she wants that person to identify the love between, and the person sticks to the basis of the relationship, isn't it?
No, it's not like that. I think for a start, they agree that it is a situationship relationship.
Okay.
But then you find out that me is always the one who is gonna start to have strong feelings for you. Yeah, that's it.
But I think it's either ways. Sometimes it's a girl who falls in love with the person, and in some instances, it's a guy who falls in love. It's two-sided.
Yeah, maybe if you say so.
Okay, thank you. What do you have to say, Mrs. Panda?
I think it's 50-50.
Okay.
One might develop strong feelings, the lady, or the boy might also develop strong feelings, although majority is the woman who develops strong feelings. But basically I feel that individual, that type of woman, just lacks some personal values, and it also goes back to the background, upbringing of that person. It matters a lot.
Mr. Shumba.
Okay, thank you. Maybe to first understand the question, if I were to rephrase it to say, are women blaming men that they don't marry because of situationships? Would it still remain would you still have the meaning you wanted to have? To say women are blaming men that they do not, because they are not married because of situationships. Is it exactly what they are?
Yes, because we've both heard what Mrs. Padley said. Majority of women are usually the ones who develop the love feeling than men. Usually men, they stick to their principles than us women.
Oh.
So I think that's what the question is.
So thank you. I'll come in to defend men, not to say I'm a man, but
Oh no, it's okay.
Situationships are gotten into by two people. I mean, of different, sexes. A man and a woman. They are the ones who get into a situationship, and to blame one sex, it would be unfair. I totally disagree that we can come into say men these days do not marry because of situationships, because you might find out that probably women enjoy situationships more than men. We don't know that, so I disagree.
Okay. Is it not because there will be more of promoting individualism, especially to men, according to the question?
I disagree, because we have two people in a situationship, both enjoying the situation, and I don't think it benefits the other sex more than the other. Yeah, so this is something that two people get into, and I can turn against you and say probably these situationships, they also promote individual interests of women more than men.
We've come to the end of our show, and I would love to thank our guests for their time, and not forgetting the crew behind the scene. I'm Angela, and it's a goodbye.